All right, if you're just joining us in, we have been tracking the results as well as the trends that are coming in from the counting of votes in India's general elections 2024. And this is where things stand according to the Election Commission of India. The Bharatiya Janata Party currently is leading in 92 seats and has won 148 seats, and that brings the total to 240. Now remember, this is short of the majority mark, that is at 272. Coming up next is Indian National Congress. It's leading on 41 seats and has already won 58 seats, and that makes it a total of 99, close to the 100 mark. And this is the first time Congress is going to come close to the 100 mark in the last 10 years, and that in itself has defied the exit poll predictions. Of course, we have seen Samajwadi Party making some big gains in Uttar Pradesh. Shock to the BJP, of course, and All India Trinamool Congress coming in, winning most of the seats in West Bengal as well. Another defeat to the BJP. Now, those are some of the numbers that we have at the moment. That's the latest. And to take this conversation further, we are being joined by senior SC advocate Sanjay Hegde. He's joining us live on the broadcast to give us some perspective. Mr. Hegde, good to see you. I want to ask you, the counting started at about 8 a.m. IST. And now we are here sitting at 8:30 p.m. IST. About 12 hours, more than 12 hours. What was your biggest takeaway from today's trends?
The biggest takeaway from today's trends is that never take the Indian voter for granted. It was a David and Goliath situation. On one side, you had a huge army with all its resources. On the other side, you had a ragtag opposition. But the voter did not go with just who's got the bigger machinery. The voter voted with his heart out. The voter stood in long lines. The voter wanted to be heard. And the thing when you get too big is that you sometimes give an impression that you're too big for other people, you're too big for your boots. If you are in electoral politics, humility is a great virtue. That's my takeaway.
Right. Mr. Hegde, which one was it? Did BJP make mistakes, or did India bloc do something right that struck with the voters, as you see?
Well, India bloc did quite a few things right after doing all of it wrong for 2 elections. So somewhere or the other, it finally woke up to social media. It woke up to sharp, crisp messages which went on people's phones. As far as the NDA is concerned, it took too many things for granted, and it almost entered in a state of dominance and assumed that the dominance would indefinitely continue.
Right.
Nobody has a victory today, and in fact, some people have a loss, some more than the others.
Right, it does seem so. Now, I have to ask you this. The India bloc made some very serious allegations against the Election Commission ahead of the results. Now, of course, no one is saying anything. Do you think the bloc owes an apology to the Election Commission?
Of course not. Of course not. I was one of the people who challenged it in the Supreme Court. And what has happened so far has been despite the Election Commission, not because of the Election Commission. And even as we speak, you can see that, suddenly there are elections which are being called that, there are just 100 votes, or people who have been declared elected are not getting their certificates. Mamata Banerjee has spoken. So, but for the fact that there were 200 plus leads for the India Alliance, and that put a lot of the administrative officers on a caution mode. Things could have been much worse. The Election Commission umpired this election in the same manner that seemingly neutral umpires like Steve Bucknor of the West Indies umpired many a match.
All right, let's talk about Delhi, sir. There are 7 seats there. All 7 seats have been given to the BJP according to the trends we are seeing by the Election Commission of India. Now, this is not any different than what happened in 2019, of course. But then there's a lot that happened in Delhi in the last few months and weeks. What happened?
Absolutely, and it doesn't look like the Delhi voter was impressed by Mr. Kejriwal's being jailed. He didn't get a sympathy vote, which many had anticipated. Whether it was because the Aam Aadmi machinery did not work on the streets, or whether they couldn't turn out their vote, those are things for the political parties to do a post-mortem on. But while Delhi was 7-0, Bombay is 5-1, Bangalore is 4-0, Madras is entirely DMK, and Calcutta is largely TMC. So urban constituencies which are normally BJP leaning, even there, certain cities have gone by the what is the predominant feeling in the state, and certain cities have gone along with the national trend.
All right, Mr. Hegde, the trends that we are getting, it does seem like the BJP might not be able to hit the majority mark, which is of 272. Right now, as we are showing on our screens as well, the NDA has, of course, crossed the threshold of 272 with 292 votes, 292 seats rather, but the BJP alone is not able to. I want to ask you, it does seem like the BJP is coming to power with its NDA alliance. In fact, just moments back, Narendra Modi has also claimed victory and thanked the voters for a third straight term for the NDA, calling it and hailing it as a victory in general elections. But I want to ask you, given that there was so much of talk around the 400 mark, there was so much of talk about BJP alone getting the 370 mark, where does this leave the image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Well, the image of dominance is gone.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.